Hi everyone. A lot of people buy dummies before they're actually at the stage where they're going to start doing the wooden dummy form within Wing Chun, which is, for my students, is usually between the second and third empty hand forms between Chum Kyu and Buji. But a lot of people want to buy their dummies early on because they think it's a commitment and it gives them something to practice their drills on. That said, when they get them home, they find that they're faced with this piece of wood that doesn't give them a lot, and they run out of ideas and creativity. Now, there's a lot of things you can do with a wooden dummy. You can hang your washing on it for starters if you really want to, but you can see it as a nice piece of furniture. Mine isn't, because I've covered mine with ropes and I've got another board strapped on the back, but a lot of people do have them as an item of furniture. Of course, this is a heavy one. I've got it the wrong way around. If you're living in a place where you're permanently based, then ideally you should have it fixed in a certain position. Mine's on a very heavy stand, which I do carry around with me, and the wall mounted ones came about because obviously when the transition from Wing Chun from China to Hong Kong, people in very small spaces, in crowded apartments and vertically uprising buildings, there wasn't really any place to put a hole in the floor or put a post in the floor to have a permanent thing like a dummy connected to. So they invented the wall bars and the wall mounted ones, which of course have some lateral movement because they're mounted on bars. Those were obviously a lot easier to fix to a wall and to move around if you took with them, if you want to take them with you when you go. So that led to an evolution and a change in the forms, because then within Wing Chun we had to stabilise the dummy before hitting it because it would move sideways. But it also taught us, because of that lateral movement, it taught us to actually ensure that the power we're using goes into the dummy and not along to the side of it so it goes flying on. So it changed our structure slightly. So what I'd like to do is just show you some things you can do on the dummy if you're not at the stage where you're learning the wooden dummy form. The dummy isn't really built for speed. The dummy is designed to teach you positioning, angle, distance, power, and also moving around a force that's greater than your own. But it's a great training partner for learning the basics on. So what I want to do, I'll show you how to basically practice some drills which are interesting on there, rather than just doing a hand sow punch, pack sow punch, lap sow punch, which you can of course build a routine. But if you're not always feeling creative but you want to do something, take a basic attack like somebody's going to punch you, you pack sow, you lap sow, you fack sow, you then pack sow, and you chang sow. So I'm doing a slapping hand, and then coming up and doing a redirecting hand with a whisking hand attack, and then bringing this back down to control the arm with another slapping hand, and I'm using a spade hand Wan Jong, Wan Chang Sao in there into the abdomen, into the floating rib. You'll notice I shifted, so I'm actually to the side of the force. The force came towards me, I moved to the side. So if we look at that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice on the lap sow I'm not using my thumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how do we speed that up? Yes, you can keep going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and get faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there's a better way of doing that, and that's by segmenting it into smaller chunks in your head. So instead of having 5 chunks, what we're going to do is make it 4 chunks. So we're going to go pack sow, lap fack. So that's 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So instead of having that interrupted 1, 2, 3, we've got 1, 2. So you're getting that simultaneous Chum Kyu opposing forces, pulling and pushing. So pack, lap back, pack, chang. But we can also add that down to get from 4 to 3. So we can distill that down by adding the chang sow and the pack sow at the end as a single move. So then we have pack sow, lap back, pack chang. Pack sow, lap back, pack chang. Pack sow, lap back, pack chang. And so on. And you can eventually, there, go up to speed, and then you can get flowed up there. There. And of course, if you practice that over and over, what you'll get is a very, very fast routine. And you can do this with any technique. Keep watching, follow, subscribe, and I'll start to give you more and more things to do on the wooden dummy. Hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe.